Alright, I got snacks now. So, here we go.
And
Emerging, I raised my head to an uncaring sun, and I cursed this world of pain and despair. This civilization built on the rickety bones of the unfortunate, on the greed and swell of mammon and empire. Cradling a stone egg in my jacket, I kissed my children farewell, and I crawled my way home. Oh boy. All the pig masks. Here we go. Can a man construct himself anew? Can a man, on realizing who he is, on what he has become, tear himself apart down to the bricks and begin again? Are our souls just this? Tiny cogwheels and clockwork, and intricate machines to serve a function that, upon reflection, we might set to a new task? Can a man defined by his actions, defined by which he now finds abhorrent, set to sabotaging this by body his machine until those children of his soul turn into new motion, and he may awake to a new sun, a new year, a new century, with hope in his heart. As I research my hands to expose wires, I ask myself this: is redemption possible for such creatures as I? And if not, then surely better to die amongst my creations than to continue to live as a monster. As if there's anything we learned in life, it's either you die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Really? You give me a note as I'm climbing a ladder? Betrayed. Saboteur is me and the voice on the telephone was him. Cannot remember. Bifurcated heart. Preferred.
where are they? Where are my
The children. Why do you ask, Mandus? You know the answer well enough. Children really are the most wonderful, useful creatures. The unfortunates from the orphanage have proved indispensable in cleaning and the larger steam pipes. It appears that matter of slaughtering process may indeed vaporize at source, but drifts like dust through the air and lodges in the pipes, causing them to foul. Periodically, we shut the pressure down and send one of our pixies into the pipes to scrub the reconstituted fat away. Armed with just a shortened broom, our little explorers venture into the dark. Of course, we can only keep pressure down for a short period, so they must be fast, or they risk being trapped and boiled by the superheated vapors when they rush back into the system. Then we will be sending their comrades in afterward to scrape free in the cooling mess. The survivors tell me you can reach all manner of places within the complex through the pipes. I smile, tell them I am so proud, and then feed them to the pigs. Lovely. Alright. I am a saboteur once again. Haha. What are you doing, little piggy? Do you think I will allow you to sabotage me again? I want my children, you unholy bastard! I like that quote. Alright. I remember this took me so long to find this area here when I first played this. Will it hurt them? A cleansing fire always burns, little Mandus, but it purifies and it makes anew. Did it hurt to cut the fevered flesh? Did it hurt to cut free the gangrenous foot? Ask instead this: can we save them? When did I say that? That is not me. That is not me! Oh boy. Ooh, a note. There is a spoon of medicine, I says. It is a silver spoon, what you did get born holding, ever so painful for mummy dear, but grasped so hard it was in a little screaming red fist. Later, you used your spoon to dig a hole in the garden to get all the way to Mexico, and then you did eat worms with your spoon on the way to stay fat. This spoon was the same you gave your twins, then you used it to dig a hole to their clockwork souls, and you ate up their hearts like soup on the way to keep you fat. Fat little mole, where will you dig next, I asks. You and your little silver spoon, made from the silver spine of your children and wrapped in the hair of your dearly departed. Dear sweet Jesus, my darling Lilibeth, what am I become? How pleasant. Alright. More sabotage. Manus is the saboteur, yep. Well, no, it actually stops. Nice attention to detail, I like it. There's a lot of attention to detail here. Another reason why I love this game. Pressure regulator. Kabam! I mean, hey. Come on. There we go. Now, escape the engineer pigs. Alright. Oops. Steam vents, yep. Alright. I know. Yep. Okay. Ow. Man, I healed really quickly. You're doing, Mandus. This is what you dreamt into being. I will stop you. I will save them. You are too late. It begins. My work has begun. Kill them, my piggies. Kill them all. Not gonna happen. I used quick save, so that's why it's frozen. So here we go. Oh boy. The game's probably gonna not like me recording this next part. Anything to save them. You profit my viscera. We make you escape forever. You slit the throat, bleed out the pig, and release it to the curdle. That you set your species free. This may take a little while longer to load. After all, it is a bigger map. Oh, there we go. Oh boy. Oh, yeah, the frame rate is not... Okay, yeah. The game does not like me recording the streets. Oh yeah, there's a top hat guy on the other side of that door.
Oh God, no, what have I done?
Well, fine then. I own this city. I am this city. No! This is not what I meant. This is not what I meant at all. Oh, I can't light that candle. It's only the ones in the church that I can light up. This is a song that was playing earlier on a phonograph. Alright. No one misses the poor. Round up the orphans and the world will thank you for it. Disappear and the whore or disappear a whore and the gentleman applauds you. Call a beggar and a lady walks safely again. I hate them. I hate them more than any of the others. This privilege, this pretension, these so-called leaders, these pillars of society, these rich and fanciful. They wear their filth on the inside, but they are no less than dirty. I have plans for them all. I will feed them, and we will feed from them. This was back in a time of the pompous rich. Redemption is at hand! Enter the cleansing and set your souls free! For you are born into filth and will die as pigs! Only through my redemption can you ascend to the skies and claim the heavens as your kingdom. Fall on your knees. Ashes, ashes, bones and ashes, for the pile will reach critical, and we can have such a burning that this city will shine as a beacon of redemption for the world! What have I unleashed? Others and seeking have fallen upon. Now I begin to understand what the other composite ingredient of Compedex must be. Now I must find a way back to the heart of the machine and complete what I started. Alright. Oh boy. Ah! She's reaching an arm out to me. Alright. We have set aside an entire wing of the mansion for parties. We invite them from near and far. We guzzle it with them. We guzzle them in with fine wine and the finest cuts in all of London. My God, Mandus. But these chops are rather divine. Who is your butcher? Feed them up, for the wine and the grains will also lend a character to the product. Keep the flesh relaxed. Opium and the champagne and gravy. A hog roasts every night for the Duke and the Duchess. An actress battered and sliced. An artisan in every mouthful. An importer of fine tears stewed in his own leaves. They bicker and breed under the table, by the fireplace, on the carpet stained with wine and fat, whilst long-dead nobles of deformed grace and cold stare watch them form gilded frames along the crooked walls. We will hose it down later, as we shovel them into our machine. Because humans are the tastiest animal on the earth. Alright. I stand and look at myself in the mirror, penis in hand, and my reflection grins at me, and his mouth is full of sulfur mustards. Vain fool, he sneers. Are you really so very different? Do you genuinely believe your works of evil are any greater than the rest of them? You are simply a weak man, a product of his age, the same as any other. This is empire, Cretan. This is the killing idiocy, the natural result of this social Darwinism. If you are evil, then this world is evil. You just let the blood run the street rather than hiding in your poorhouse. You hold the blade and slide it home yourself. You do not pay a man to do this for you. You cannot see it. If you are evil, at least yours is an honest evil, and that alone makes you Ubermensch. And thus I wash my hands and take to bed. Ubermensch? I think probably Uber. That would make more sense. At least, I think so. Alright. Aha! Do you hear me, Mandis? This is what you planned. This world is a machine for pigs, fit only for the slaughtering of pigs. Nice. They're humping people now. Alright, here we go. Whores, beggars, orphans, filthy degenerates, pigs all. But I will purify the streets, cleanse this city, set the great industry free. I will clean the world, make it pure. Streets and alleys. Alright.
Beast.
Creature! Where are my children? Where are my children? Alright. Well, there's that. Farming the world. A missing vein, I see this now. We must find them. Those scrolls, those old words written upon metal rods that glow in the half-light. The dusk, this gloaming. Ah. The, conveyor belt thing that they show, like, right after this loading screen. I remember on when I was playing this on my laptop, that, the game would actually crash every time that the game would load on that loading screen before it would even finish loading the map. And I would have to, like, load from an autosave every time, but that's not the case anymore. On this computer, the map actually loads normally, which I'm happy about that. Counterattack. Nice. Grasp in that grasp. Okay. Man, this machine is loud. And it's a man cooker of some kind. Damn, that is loud. I'm gonna have to turn that down on movie software. There's that one song that's playing again. No machine blames for Fatty Bishop and Gluttony Harris. Prime cuts all for the sorting bins. And the very best is always back in the dumbwaiter to the kitchens above, to be stewed and plumped and graved and bread crumbled, and returned to the table for the next night's feast. And not every night, you see, although we have begun to increase the frequency of the final act. Unlike the poor, the rich will be missed, given time, but we will continue to spoil and ready them, and our fine foods are now exported to mansions and lodges across London. And it has been noted in the times of late how rather overweight the great and the good are becoming, with their diets of fine wine and rich meat indeed. The Punch just last week, a cartoon, showed Viscount Sluin as a stuffed pig laid upon platter for his peers to dine upon. A vicious and cowardly slander, no doubt, but he tasted delicious. I think I butchered that guy's name, but I don't care anymore. I've probably butchered a bunch of people's names in this game. Compound X, no naked flames, no unshielded electrics. Oh yeah. I gotta... Yeah, okay, so... I gotta sabotage the machinery, that's right, because there's a pig down there that I have to kill. With the electricity. Electricity! Oh, yes, the electricity.
Will they be free? Yes, my friend.
Drained and bled, and freed from the prison of the flesh. Free to ascend to smoke to the stars.
And the good. The word. How will we save them?
Show me these worthy Mandus. Show me these good. I do not see them. Then upstairs to bed, to toss and turn bloated stomachs, to copulate and puke upon chase long for the poster or dressing table, collapse at last into the engulfing mattress, drugged and fat and stupid and senseless, and spring the trap, man-pigs spring the trap. At a pull of a lever, a set of hydraulic pistons and gears are fired, resulting in 3 walls of steel, bars dropping from the ceiling via the canopy to cage the product into the bed, preventing escape. That explains the bed cages. An entire bed then tilted backwards into the wall by the powerful spring mechanism, also fed by the hydraulics. The pressure for the system is created as a byproduct of the vacuum evisceration system employed for mass production elsewhere on the pig line. In this way, we have created our very own bottled revolution for the movement of the masses as a casual factor in this extermination of the rich. Ah, that's what it's called. The conveyor belt thing. It's called the pig line, that's right. And then... and he made one of those cages for his wife. That's also, I've just noticed that. That's fucked. So I'm being very rude. I'm licking my own fingers on camera. Coolant pumps, okay. Alright. Well, that's done it. Now, and look at that. It's already starting to flood. The tunnel's already flooded. Alright, and now I can, stimulate the Compound X. And now we'll, electrify the pig down here. Ow. Alright. More sabotage, here we go. Oh, shit. Oops.
I know you, machine.
Sheen,
I
I
know,
know what you fear. I will rain excrement into your very soul. I will destroy you. You are too late, Mandus. My great works are almost begun. The great work. Oh boy. Oh. More of these guys. Walking away from those temples, that small pile of stones under the rhododendrons, the skulls of innocents under the loose clod, headless rib cages in the cool stone behind the altars. 3,000 miles apart, I trace back my life to this instance. Rain channels eroded an ancient stone. The toxins are already in this damp, this falling water. I hack and retch and vomit into the sink and grasp the bowl with both hands and stare. There in the plug hole, as clear as day, a toy spine, clockwork and intricate, like a child's spine, but clockwork. How could that be? How could a child's spine be made like clockwork? I washed it carefully and placed it on the mantelpiece by the egg I laid myself, under the garden where the children's skulls are buried. I call it my Mexico. You and spat shit insane bastard. Huh. Try to up that one, Dr. Evil. I am injuring myself like crazy right now. I need to stop doing that. It is critically injured now. So am I. My head pounds with blood. My teeth vibrate. I'm not surprised. I'm an angel of death descending to smother the firstborn of death. Yeah, okay, yeah.
I am here again, at the foot of those stairs.
Towards the red light of the nursery. A sunset in the window like a bleeding sky. The horizon, a slit throat. The seeping dark to drain the guilt from us. I am a jaguar-faced man. I am a feathered serpent. This priesthood is mine. There is some, rebel in the ceiling. Some pig thing is eating a human. Wait, there's an... What's the other one doing? He is just crying. Alright. Or she. I don't even... You never know.
I can meet him, your great
Engineer. How marvelous. I must say, Mr. Mandus, my excitement is almost unseemly.
Yes, I can see that.
Step this way, Professor. I will be right behind you. Mandus? Mandus, where the devil are you? I can't see a damn thing. Mandus! We are the pig, Professor. We are all the pig. Nice. Ah, nice. Oh boy. Oh boy.
I climb in stillness now.
Blue water runs in my veins. Now I am clean. I carry the knife of this factory, the bowl of this mill. I am come to collect you from your fields and your furnaces. I will gather you into the white clouds. I will gather you to me, and I will take you home. Oh boy. Nice. Lovely. The file lifts, the bride is awaiting. Round up some orphans, and the world will thank you for it. Disappear a whore, and the gentleman applauds you. Call the beggar, and the lady walks safely again. That was in a note. My gears are just, my steam is built. Soon I will spill that blue water, split the egg, the atom, my soul, and there will be a very great burning, that we might make the world clean. Proud, for this is your doing. Until you steeped me in the blood of your own, I was nothing but rotten architecture. You have made me, and I will make the world anew. Oh shit. Then you already know I would tell you. You already know what you have done, and that you must now do, walking away from those temples. That small pile of stones beneath the rhododendrons, the skulls of innocents under the loose clod, headless rib cages, cruelly torn asunder to expose the flowers. In the cool stone behind the altars 3,000 miles away, I traced myself to this instant. Rain channels eroded the ancient stone. The toxins are already in this this falling water. And in that instant, cradling my children's heads in my palms, I knew then I had unbuilt what I myself had constructed. Though even it was a little more than a sickening dream, this machine is ever mine, and it falls to me to redeem it and myself. Yeah.
But why did you take my children?
Madness. Of all the blood we have spilled together.
The first drops fell from your hands alone. Then I'm damned full of filicide, and everything is lost. Let's see. Was there another note here somewhere? I'm pretty sure, I swear I remember there being one that was called, like, to whoever may concern or whatever. Or if you find this, or whatever it said. It's probably later, actually. Well, we've already made it to the Tesla. Ooh, this is where we meet. Yeah. This is where we meet the best monster in all of Amnesia. This thing looks so fucking cool. I love it. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, there we go. Ooh. Another Dark Descent sound effect. Yep. Nice. Nice. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh shit. Got it. That was close. That was close. Maybe it was right here or something. Actually, I think maybe right here. No. Alright then. Man is descending amongst the spirits. I deny you. I am your chattel. I will not be your operator. The monkey to your get organ grinder. But I am no monkey. Save you. Only to spare you. I would have given my soul to spare you this world and its loam.
My children. My children.
What have I done? What have I become?
I will put it right, my darlings.
All of my wrongs will be righted. All of my sins washed clean. Whoa.
I love you, my darlings, and I am sorry. I am sorry for all I have done. I simply loved you all too much for this world.
Memories, they surface like blooded bodies rising from the scum of the Thames. I looked at them covered in the blood of their dead mother, little piglets squalling in their swaddling, and my heart at once was filled with the great love and consuming hate I could never have imagined. At that point, did my soul split creating them? Was this the egg of my soul? The moment the great clock began to tick, is the only path to redemption, to join us together again, to make myself whole, to close the great circle and take that madman into my heart once more, and forgive him and myself as well. Simple. Search for instruction, for advice, for help my goals, but in return the system mocks me. Simpleton, it says, you must find your own answers now. I read that one because that was the last no he writes. So.
Mantis, Put aside your misguided crusade and let me save them. You may hate me, Mandus, but I have seen the future, your 20th century, and let me tell you this, a far greater slaughter awaits you there. I
Seek to save the world by blood now, before millions fall beneath history, pushed under by blade, bullet, and gas. Ooh. Compound. Whoa. Okay. Oh boy. Last enemy encounter. Here we go. Shit. Shit. I hear him. Oh boy. Okay, here we go. Alright. Did it! Oh, this looks cool. There's a heart, which can only I can only imagine is one of my kids' hearts. Alright. Oh. Oh, there we go. I was gonna fall off of that. Alright.
I have you now, creature. I will destroy you.
Stop him! Stop him! Kill him!
It is over. It is
It's-
time to end this madness.
Where is it? Hey, where is the ladder? Oh, there it is. Oh. I just went all the way around. Well, oh well. I am lost in the dry paper soul of the world. Enoch, Edwin, Oswald, and I.
Madness, listen to your heart. You know you are with me. You created me to save the world. I am your friend. Mandus, please, I am no more evil than you. We sought the same thing, to save humanity, ridding them of their painful, stupid, pointless lives. what you are doing for your children, Magnus.
Do not speak of my children, monster.
I did not kill your children, Magnus. You sacrificed them on the temple steps, knowing what the coming century would do to them. Your sons will drown, lungs full of mud and shrapnel, on the banks of the Somme. You wanted to save them from the horror to come. That is the vision we share. Everything we have built to avert this coming nightmare. You and I are one. We are the same. Our souls are entangled. We deserve to make them free.
This is it. And now, here comes the best part of the entire game, right here. I'm not even gonna quote over it because I'm just gonna let it happen. Damn.
I have stood knee-deep in mud and bone and filled my lungs with mustard gas. I have seen 2 brothers fall. I have lain with holy wars and copulated with the autumnal fallout. I have dug trenches for the refugees. I have murdered dissidents where the ground never thaws and starved the masses into pain. A child's shadow burnt into the brickwork. A house of skulls in the jungle. The innocent Mandus trod and bled and gassed and starved and beaten and murdered and enslaved. This is your coming century. They will eat the Mandus. They will make pigs of you all, and they will bury their snouts into your ribs, and they will eat your hearts.
Best monologue speech ever.
Please, Mandus, no. For your children.
Love it. That sequence was amazing. It was so well written out. And now I die here with my kids. That was loud.
I lay there and watched the god I had created die. At the end, when we were cold as the stone we had hewn his body from, When the lights were nearly all extinguished, we heard, in the silent distance, the man-pigs singing to one another. Then, as the last lights were gone, and we lay together in the deep, they drifted away, and all was silent. Such a silence I have never known. And as the dust settled on my open eye, and we lay together embraced forever, I heard, miles above us, the sounds of the city turning over in its sleep. A church bell ringing out. And in that moment, the new century was born.
And there you have it. Chinese room. I love this game so much. I mean, admittedly, I understand why a lot of fans of the first game didn't like it, because, you know, it didn't really focus on scaring the player as much as, you know, as much as the story, which I can understand if those are the things that you loved about the first game. I can understand if this one disappointed you. But again, my personal preference, as like I said in my last what I said about the last game, is that I don't mind if a horror game doesn't scare me as long as I have an enjoyable experience overall. And just this was one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had playing a game. Even, like, at the time. So, like, there was a lot of things that this game did that really impressed me when I first played this. So it has a special place in my heart. It's also because it's also the believe it or not, this is actually the game that influenced me to read stuff more often. Because like I used to hate reading books and shit, but as soon as just the story in this game just intrigued me so much. Like reading the notes, was I was so invested in the story in this game that I'm like, I gotta start reading stuff more, and this is the game that just influenced me to do that. So this game has a big place in my heart for that reason too. Also nostalgia, that's another thing. I just really love the story, I love the soundtrack, I love just looking at everything in my environments. Like, in general, I'm very passionate about story in games, so this particular game was just really, really up there on my alley. But, you know, it kind of, you know, this game versus the first game, it kind of reminds me of the first two Alien movies in a way. Like how the first Alien was meant to scare the audience, whilst the second movie was more of an epic, entertaining sort of experience. And that's pretty much what these two games are, if you think about it. this game is pretty much the the aliens of Amnesia. And if you look at it that way, I think that's actually kind of cool. So, but I don't know. In the end, like if you're somebody who found this game disappointing, I understand, but I love it. So, this is one of my favorite games of all time. I think it's always going to be my favorite Amnesia. So, but anyway, that will be it for this Let's Play. So, I hope this was enjoyable. I'm not sure what I'll do next, but we'll just have to find out. I don't know when I'll... Also, I'm not really sure when I'm gonna record next, so we'll just have to see. When I get... like I said, I just record when I get the chance. You know, because, you know, work and all, and friend hangouts. So, we'll just see. So in the end, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Take care.